Howdy, popping in today because I want to talk about Kajabi Community, or the community product that is now built inside Kajabi. I've been, I guess, a little bit hesitant to do anything with the new community product because I'd kind of got used to the old and it was working in the way it was supposed to, and I didn't really want to have to tackle a new, I guess, part of Kajabi, particularly because we knew when it first came out there were quite a few bugs. But it's time. We have to migrate over to the new, and that's what this video is about, because I've discovered a couple of things that I wanted to share with you, and hopefully you'll find them helpful and you may be able to use some of them for your own community. Okay, so we know that lots of people have already been focusing on, I guess, the ins and outs of community and how it actually functions with messaging and how to run challenges and things like that. I don't want to talk about that today. I haven't really sort of dived into that enough to be able to sort of tackle that yet. The first thing I wanted to tackle with you though is about using a custom page, a custom home page for your community, and how we might make that work. Because one of the things that I'm hearing is, in case you don't know, we're only allowed to have one community as, I guess, let's think of it as a home base inside Kajabi. But you may have a few different groups of people that are in different courses or have purchased different things from you, and how you may talk to one group might be totally different to another, and things that you may want to put on a homepage for one group again might be different to another. So I've been trying to come up with ways, thinking about how we might tackle this, because I'm in the same boat as you. And in case if you don't know me, I haven't introduced myself, it's Penny from Penny in Your Pocket. Nice to meet you. So let me dive in and quickly show you what I've been working on and a couple of workarounds that I think that I've come up with on how we might use the new community product, and in particular how we could set up a custom home page that I guess could really help our students and our members navigate all the different areas of the courses and things that they're members of. Because this is the other thing, remember, we have comments. So if you're running a course and you've turned on comments in the course, you're going to have students and members writing in the comments area in there. But then you might be running this kind of community product and you might have like question and answer areas, you might have lives, you might have all sorts of different things in here. And I think it's going to get messy. I think we kind of have to be able to control where we want our members to ask questions, where we want them to talk to other people, like others that are going through the same program as them. And then, of course, how we're going to structure it so that it all makes sense for everybody. So let me see if I can unravel this a little bit. This is my thought process on where I'm going with it and what I've used in order to be able to make this happen and set it up. So we're just going to shrink me down because we don't need me that big anymore. Right. So what we've done is, if you don't know already, inside Kajabi Community, we are able to have a custom page. And so what I've done is I've gone and created a custom page. All I've done is I've embedded the link in here and I've popped it in, I've hit save, and then when I go back out to my community, I can now see my beautiful custom homepage. And I want to walk you through all the different components of this page to see if it might work for you. All right, let's dive in. So, header. I thought it would be really cool. I haven't done this one, but I'm going to show you like a live working example because this is just a dummy. So if you think about it and you've got every single one of your people inside your community area, and maybe they're coming in here because you've decided that you want to use it for a question and answer area for the actual course or the membership or the resource area, whatever it is that you have your people contained in, and you've decided, I'm not going to run comments inside the course area anymore. I'm going to turn those off. I'm going to put a link inside all of my products to drive them to a particular circle, or what we call an access group circle within the community, so that maybe we can start sort of driving everything within one place, so it becomes a lot more valuable to the people that are actually in there as well. So if we have a Q&A, let's just imagine that we have a Q&A area for every course or every membership, every product that we have within our Kajabi account. And you put a link to that Q&A area within your course so that it's going to drive them. So say if there's a link and it goes to this, like let's just say we've created a beginners group and they're going to land in here, and this is going to be where they ask their questions about that particular product or course that they're going through. But once they're in here, we can see that, we have like a back area, but how do we get back? That's going to take us back to not the actual course we were in. So in terms of navigation, if that person was in the middle of doing something in your course of membership, like how do we get them back to the actual course? So this is where the homepage could actually come in handy. And what I thought you could do is have a whole lot of drop-down menus that you go and create, and each one leads out to one of your courses. Now I can show you what I've done in mine. This is a live working area. Let me just get it up. Actually, I can do it from within here. So if we dive on over into my community, which I'm in the middle of setting up as well. So I'm in the same boat as you guys, trying to work it all out, what I want it to look like. But that's the first thing I was thinking of. Well, everyone that's going to be in here is part of my template and course community. So if they want to get back to their item, I've gone and created these drop-down menus, which I thought could be really fun. So basically, if you're working in here, you've gone and posted a question, or you've asked a question, or if someone's come in and answered it for you, and you've been in one of your items that you've been working in, you're able to click on the drop-down and go back to it, okay? And what happens is when you click on it, it will open up and then take you straight back out. And of course, you get to decide what that link is and where it's going to take them. Like you might want it to go to a particular page in that course or membership. Okay, so don't forget, we as the owner, the admin, we get to choose where we want people to go. But another really fun thing that I found that is kind of cool. So what I've done is I've set this up so that it opens up in a new page, and then they're able to kind of flip between the two. Oh, that's right, I was in community, I'm going to go back there. But even if they're in here, I have a link to get them back to community as well. So I'm trying to not to let anybody get lost, like that there's a driving force between, oh, this is where you need to be. But let me see if I can find it. Right. So one of the things that I did find is, which is kind of really weird, because Kajabi have built it in an iframe area, you can also, which is kind of pretty cool, get the actual course to open up within the actual community area. Now, you might be wondering what happens if you don't have access to that, and I'll show you that shortly. But if you don't have access, the person that's clicked on it doesn't own that product or doesn't have access to it. It just comes up with a, you don't have access to this, or it's a denied message. So the only people that can actually see the courses within the community area are those that are actually working on them and that own them. So I haven't decided which is going to work better yet. But I just wanted to point this out. You can do it this way, where you can have it set up so that it either links out to a brand new page, or you can set it up so that it opens within the actual community area. So they haven't even left. So they could then go and dive on into one of the categories they're working in. Like if they needed to go into a lesson or something, and they can be working on that lesson, and and then they remembered something else to do with community. Oh, that's right, I've got a question on it. I'm going to pop out into the Q&A, open that, and then they just go back to the homepage. So obviously it's not that great in that they can't go straight back to the lesson. So like I said, I think this is going to be us working this out over time, which is probably going to suit people better. Is it better to have it so that it's actually open in its own page, in a different area, and then say when they get somewhere and they've looked at it and they've oh look, I've still got a question on that particular thing, and then they can quickly pop back out over here, ask the question, and because they've still got it open, they can pop back in. That may be easier for people, and it means they're not going to get lost. So like I said, I just wanted to show you that we can do it both ways. We can actually have it open in a new page, or we can have the courses actually open directly within this area itself, like within the community. So that was kind of pretty cool. Like I said, jury's out on which way is going to work better, but I just wanted to show you. So getting back to, this is my demo one, I'm showing you an idea around what we could do for a homepage. So like I said, we've gone over our header area. You can put whatever links you think are going to be needed by your people. So do they need an easy spot to get back to their library, or because they're already logged in over here, they might be able to get to it there? I'm not sure. It doesn't look like we can. Announcements, because we know that within our products and things, that's interesting, it won't log out. So many little bugs and things that I find whenever I'm in here, but we're not looking at that. We're looking at all the good parts. So, like I said, the announcements. We know that within all of our product areas, our courses and things, we also have an announcements area. So maybe it's cool to have a link to announcements. Like if that's something that you use a lot within your courses, that's a really handy one to have too. So I'll leave the header to you to have a think on what's going to work best in your use case scenario. And let's dive down into the next section, which I have created as a hero banner section. And of course, the one thing which we're all going to need is probably a welcome video and a little bit of a, here's how to navigate and find your way around our community. Here's what you need to do if you've got a question. Here's what you need to do if you get stuck somewhere, that kind of thing. I think it's always lovely to create a video and have that front and center. I haven't done mine yet, but that is on the list to do. Then I thought, in order to be able to help people find like where they're supposed to be looking all the time is, to have this, find your circle. So just like some kind of little graphic pointing people in the right direction. Hey, this is where you're going. This is where you need to find your circle and all the different topics that we have set up for you within there. So that's why I created that one. Next one I thought, which could be really cool, is an onboarding area. So if you have a set pathway that you want people to follow, and I'm just going to say something here. Someone actually suggested this to me on my Facebook page, and I thought it was a great idea. So it's now added in because I think we could all definitely utilize something like this. So onboarding, step one, do we want them to complete their profile? Do we want them to introduce themselves? A great idea here is to set up a challenge around introductions, because obviously we have access to challenges in Kajabi. Now, the beautiful part here is we can actually put a link inside this that will take them directly to the challenge if they haven't already gone in and started it. Okay, so that's something else. Great, you can go and create a challenge to get everybody to start having fun and introducing themselves. And of course, they'll always know where to find it on the homepage. You could have some kind of an alert to let them know that you're live every Wednesday. Maybe you do a live for your whole community, or maybe you don't. Maybe you want to say something like, this is for VIPs only, whatever. Have a think about the people that are in here. What's going to make sense to them? Is it going to make someone upset if they miss out because you put something there? Maybe you don't want to put it, maybe that's something that we'll talk about in the next section. So other than that, the other thing which I thought was a good idea was to advise people that they can actually download the mobile app as well. Now, the only problem that I think we're going to have with the app, and I haven't actually tested it myself, so maybe someone can actually pop a note in the comments if they've already done this, is what we see in the community app. Because I know that we don't see home pages in the app for our products and our memberships and things. So I'm not sure if the community is going to be like that as well, where we actually won't be able to see this homepage. And if that's the case, well, it's probably going to be useless. I don't know. I have to test that. So that's my next job that I'm going to be doing as well, is testing what it actually looks like in the Kajabi app. All right. Another area I thought which would be really cool was if we decided that we wanted to do maybe Q&As for, say, like the main different courses or things that you have, these are just examples, then this could also be a really good spot to go and create links for them. And then when you click on the link, it'll take them straight to the Q&A. So that's something else that I think could be really handy to have, like front and center for people. The other part then I thought, which might be nice, is to have latest news. Maybe you have something new that's coming out and you want to share that with people. So this is where the what's new comes in, and you might have, in the news, you might have links here to various different challenges. You might have some kind of a free PDF that you've created or something, and you have a link here that they're able to download it. You could be showcasing that you have a new workshop coming up, and then the link leads them out to an opt-in page where they could go and sign up for the workshop. And then you might even have a sales page link. You've created a new course and you want people to go to the sales page where they can also purchase that as well for members of your community. So lots of different things. Have a think about what might work for you. The next one, I don't know how we could use this, but if you have, I was thinking about this two different ways, okay? And I'm going to show you both ways. So if you have, say you've got like a VIP group of people, or one group of people that maybe they're in your top tier signature course, and they get things, or they have access to things that nobody else does, and you want to be able to hide that from people. Well, the way that we have these pages created up, they're what I call lockable pages, and we're able to lock a section of a page or a couple of sections on the page based on what somebody owns. Now, it's not so good in that you can pick each section and say, right, people that own product A are going to see this section. People that own product C are going to see this. People that own product D are going to see this. Okay, that's not how it works. It's either you're allowed to see this section or you're not. And if you are allowed, the only reason you would be allowed is because you own offer or product A. Everybody else gets to see everything else. Okay, so it's really only for two groups. Think of it that way. So it's for people that don't own this particular thing or the people that do. It's not various different things. So just sort of have a think about that, how that might work. I think this is going to be better for people that are in a VIP mastermind or something, and you wanted to separate a particular section on a page, on the home page that is solely for them. But it just means you're not having to run two pages, because it's still part of the same page. It's just that it's hidden from everybody else. So have a think about how that could work for you. But also, you could have the things that are on here visible to everybody, and then this creates a little bit of FOMO for those that aren't in the permaculture course, because they can clearly see that coming up they're going to learn how to do something, and that's the link that's going to take them to the live page. Now remember, because we now have access to live trainings inside our actual individual courses, this is really cool because you can run the lives in each individual course. You don't necessarily have to run them straight to one link to a Zoom meeting that everybody's going to get access to. You can have the link here that links individually to that particular product, to the lesson where you're going to run the live in there, which means if I don't own the permaculture course, I'm going to try and click on that and it's going to come up saying, oh, you don't have access to that, you're denied. So I'm kind of thinking that it could also be a good thing to show all the different things that are coming up, because everybody in your community can see what you're doing, but they just can't access it. So yeah, it's another way for people to see how active you are in your different courses or memberships, and also to see different topics and things that may be being discussed in there. And it might, I don't know, like I said, it might create that FOMO that they then want to dive in because, oh my gosh, that sounds really cool. I want to learn the keto recipe course or whatever it is that you have. So don't rule it out, but at least you have the option. If you wanted to create an area like that just for your VIP members and then hide it from everyone else, you can definitely do that. But if you want to show everybody, this is a way that you can get around it. So don't be frightened of the links in here because they won't work if you don't have access to it, all right? Another area which I thought was cool was maybe like a celebration area, kind of like what Kajabi does. So you can have your own hero wins area. What do you want to put there? And then, maybe you could have, I was thinking maybe, I don't know how I've got the link set up. So what you could do is you can actually set it so that it goes to your email. So, you can put like a direct link in here that they can email it to you. The other way to do it is you could actually use the two-step opt-in pop-up form on this page where they actually go and submit through the form. So that could be another really cool way of doing it as well. Like anyone that's had a win. Oh, hey, Penny, oh my gosh, my template smashed it. This happened this month. Awesome. Wonderful. Share it with all of us. Okay. So that could be another good thing for you to do as well. FAQs. I like this. I love having FAQs. I am always surprised at how many people ask questions. And I think that's wonderful because by asking questions, that's how we learn about things. But over the years of doing this, I will say there tends to be, I would say, between 5 and 10 questions that will constantly be asked. And sometimes it doesn't matter how visible you make the answers to these, people just miss them, okay? Or they're in a hurry, they haven't had time to go and find it on your page, or if you've got it like as a blog post or something like that, and they're desperate to find the answer. So I think it's always a really good idea to just have a small amount of FAQs on this page somewhere that are always front and center. Just pick between your 5 and 10 that are the most commonly asked and put them here. I mean, obviously, if we're creating Q&A circles, people are going to dive in there and they're going to have their questions answered anyway. But it doesn't hurt, to put these out on a homepage so that they're visible to everyone. The next part was having, like a little blurb around help desk and how to get hold of you if they need support. I think that's always really important, just to let people know that you are a real person and there is someone there or someone on your team that is always able to help them if they do have an issue. So having an email somewhere, like an email address somewhere, is always a really good idea. And then, of course, if you want to point people to the Q&A circles to say, hey, pop it over there. That's where we're going to be doing all of our question and answers. So just, I don't know, it's probably a good idea just to guide people. Oh, this is where I go. And then the other one, this is my all-time favorite, is to have a feedback box, like I call it. Why? Because it's really important. It's so important that you hear back from the people in your community. Whether they're doing a membership or one of your courses, it doesn't matter what experience they've had with you, what they've been working through. This is how we, as the course creator or the product creator, get to grow ourselves. Because sometimes we'll go and create something that we think, yep, nailed it. I've answered everybody's questions in here. There's absolutely nothing that anybody could come back on me for this one. We're good. I don't think I've had one where someone hasn't picked up on some tiny little thing that I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even think of that. So we all think differently, and it's so wonderful to be able to include the people that go through our courses and get feedback from them, because then it just makes our courses even better, or whatever it is that you've created, it makes it better. And it makes us better because we get to learn more from talking to people and giving responses back to people, and it's lovely. Like, even if someone is having a bad day and they haven't, they felt like something that you've created hasn't helped them in the way that they thought they were going to, and they vent in the form. Well, you know what? I'd much rather somebody come and vent in my feedback form than go and vent on a social media post somewhere. So this way, we're able to jump on things. We can, thank them. We can also remember, because this is a form, we're setting this up as a form in Kajabi. And the beautiful part about that is we can put all these automations in place as well. So it doesn't matter if it comes in the middle of the night. You can have this beautiful autoresponder email set up thanking the person for their feedback and whatever else that you want to say. So, and then plus you can tag them, you can forward it to a member of your team if it needs to be addressed or answered straight away, or it can go into a special part of your email inbox where that's something that you're going to deal with when you wake up first thing in the morning. But I always think it's a really good idea to have a feedback box on the page. Okay, so this is how I have created, well, yeah, it's a community homepage. Now I wanted to show you, so there's a couple of different methods or different ideas around it. So this one is similar, just a different color theme. And then this is like set up a little bit different on here, but they pretty much all have the same kind of stuff on them. It's just like a different color theme. I just wanted to show you that obviously you can change these up to however you want them to look with the branding and things. All right. So let's get out of that one. And then what I was going to walk you through now was what happens. What does the page look like if you're not a VIP member? So currently I've got this in place so that I'm a VIP member and I can see the live coaching schedule. So I wanted to show you, if you're not a VIP member, what happens and what you can see and what you can't see. So this person is not a VIP member, and we can see they're only a member of like the one of the circles. But as they scroll down, it's not there. So that particular section is locked out to them. They can see everything else that they may need, but they cannot see the live coaching schedule. So that's how we do it, by using a lockable page. So I just wanted to show that one to say that's how we would deal with that. And then I guess the other part that I was going to show you was if they are using, like if you are using the Q&A, like what that would look like. So let's just say like this is like a course area that we've set up and people are going through this. One of the things which I thought would be great was that you can have a link in here, and then like I said, this is going to like take you straight into the Q&A that is around that particular product. So you might have that product set up and it has its own Q&A, and it will take that person straight there. So all they've done is they've gone, great, I've got a question, I've watched that video, I've got a question about that, and then I'm going to pop on over into the community, I'm going to ask that question, and it's still open over here, so then I can go back to watching the next lesson. So just a couple of things which I thought might work for us, like to be able to do something like that. So that's my thought process around the community home page. Let me know what you think, and if you guys have got any suggestions as well, always love to hear them, because you know it all helps in making our own pages even better. But throw them at me, and like I said, I was only covering how it works with a homepage today. I wasn't going to dive into setting up the challenges or how we actually use the messaging and things within it. I just wanted to show you how we're going to deal with working with all the various different groups that we're going to have in our communities. How can we structure it and make this better for our people? Okay, I'm going to leave that with you. Enjoy the day in your part of the world. Bye for now.